A great fall from glory, and it also appears that Striker's making some rounds. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Now, this is interesting to me. I say that a lot, but Malice and Ryzel were equals for so long out here. They were competing, you had a lot of good harmony, and we finally starting to see a little bit of a break here between the Ryzel and the Malice meta, actually kind of shifting these two decks into, Malice being forced down out here. Now, it's not to say that, Ryzel and Malice, they're both S tier decks. I don't think anything's going to change about that, but it's starting to show that Ryzel is coming out just a little bit further ahead right now than what we're seeing with the Malice deck. So I find that, it's interesting for the developments of the meta. Now, when you shift down here into A tier, you do see that, once again, Regenesis has been doing a lot. And I am kind of curious to see how Regenesis is actually going to work in the TCG. I think that Regenesis is a very strong deck. It does some actually pretty cool things, in my opinion, but it's going to be a little while before we can actually see this deck do, pretty strong things here. And then, of course, Memento. This deck does not change, man. Memento has still sat here. It has still done all of these things, and there is really no changing how this deck is doing its thing. Blue Eyes Primite still sitting in A tier. Once again, I don't think that this is going to change until, we get another set out here. You're pretty much locked in for the long haul. And it also appears that White Forest is still holding at the end of A tier here. I don't know if that's a good thing that we're seeing this deck kind of shifting on back here, but it is interesting. We've also got Crystron back here for you. Crystron doing the standard thing. I mean, that and Mermail, let's call it what it is. Both of these two are by far your poster children for, like mid-range. These two do some pretty good things, and sometimes they just suck. All right, we've also got Orcust and Gem Knights down here in C tier. It's crazy to me how much these two decks just fell off, because they're not bad. It's just, we're in a situation right now that, how these two were actually kind of doing their it's just not doing well for them right now. And then, of course, the explosive power of Tempai Dragons. I too love OTKing my opponent out of left field. And then we have Adagnister, Sky Striker, which that one's a surprising one to see as well. And we have Evil Twins barely holding on out here. Like, it's kind of crazy to see how much Evil Twins have actually fallen out here. Let's pass on over to deck list. Well, starting things off here, to nobody's surprise, is Ryzel now sporting off Small Worlds in the deck. I guess we've reached the point that we kind of have to, find a more consistent way to bridge the gap and to get into those power cards. You also do see Lancia and Metaltronius down here. Both of those fantastic, stupid, strong anti-meta choices actually doing what they need to be doing right now to actually pressure your opponent out of the game. So actually looking pretty good. Next up here we have Malice, triple backup secretary. Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised to see that the backup secretary has been doing as well as she actually has been out here. This has kind of turned into one of those extremely strong cards that actually puts a lot of pressure on the extensions for this deck. Also, we're doing triple March Hare in here. I remember in the very early days of this when we were just doing two, and also Wizard's been pushed down into the side deck. Poor guy. We've also got, oh man, we're on the Nadir Servant package now. Oh no. All of the names in this are about what you would expect, because it doesn't matter if they get banished or anything, because you can just pull them back out of the abyss. Like, they're not going anywhere. You've also got, interesting, I see the ever so slightly small package in here of the one unicorn, I guess. Triple Nadir Servant, that's so good. We're doing the Dragon's Bind, or the Dragon's Calm trap card. Okay. Alright, we've also got Memento. Still no Goblin Cage or any of that shenanigans in here. The OCG just abandoned the entire concept of using that package to help this deck out. And I'm impressed, actually, by that. It impresses me so much that they just were like, yeah, we don't longer have a need to use that for the extensions. Like, our deck is good enough. And I mean, Memento still reigns terror in the OCG. Ooh, Blue Eyes. So, I guess the most interesting differences between our list and the OCG is, like, they still have Baron, and they have the new Ancient Fairy Dragon, which, by the way, I love that card to death. I think it's one of the coolest additions that we could have actually gotten out here. It opens up some sick plays for what you're actually capable of doing with this deck. So, you know, I'm going to give it to the OCG. You guys are doing some cool stuff. Oh, White Forest. Oh, man. In terms of what this deck is capable of doing, like, it gets very scary. In terms of just, you know, the new field spell alone, your deck has no reason to be as good as it actually is. And you know what? The deck just, it powers on through. It sets up such strong boards. And, you know, just getting 2 new monsters and all the new additional support really, really changed this deck. Next up here, we have, Crystron. And once again, I'd like to give a shout out here to our dear old friend, Baron de Fleur. The fact that you are capable of seeing this stuff, you know, doing as well as it is. Also, the OCG loves the water synchro down there next to Chambara. We have not seen this actually see any play in our list whatsoever. I think it's a cool addition if you were to want to try it, but okay. Atlantean Barrier Statue, the deck. So how does this work? Oh, well, you just roll on through the whole Barrier Statue, minstrel a card out of your opponent's hand, and not give a flying crap, man. Also, the double Poseidon down here looking pretty strong as it is. But yeah, your whole deck's purpose, you want to shave as many resources off from your opponent as possible, put your opponent into that absolutely awful position, and then just start to win the game by resource deprivation. Oh, triple Brass Bombard. What are we doing here, OCG? Why in the world do we have triple frickin' Brass Bombard in this thing? And I don't understand this. This is kind of crazy to me that you're seeing, you know, this level of craziness do its thing. But I guess, man, I guess that you just want to play it and make Orcus better. All right, we've also got, oh no, Block Dragon's back. Oh no, they've forgone. They've returned back to Blocky Boy. Well, I guess I should have seen this coming eventually, right? Like, if you look at the way that this deck was kind of progressively building itself over time, they stripped out Block Dragon, they started to evolve. So now, you know, once you hit the absolute ceiling for the other side, you got to spin back around out here and see what you're capable of pulling out now with Block Dragon. I guess it makes sense. Ooh, we have Tenpai Triple Ultimate Slayer. You still get the triple Sengen Kaiman, which is crazy to me, by the way. Thank you, OCG. I absolutely love the fact that we are seeing, you know, the devastation that the triple Sengen Kaiman brings to the table out here. It really makes things look really, really good. I too love OTKing my opponents into the frickin' ground. Ooh, we have our Adignister pile for you here. Now, in terms of Adignister stuff, you're going to see Nightmare Corrupt Ridley out here being a little bit of a menace. I feel like that this doesn't really change all that much. She is basically one of the dumbest cards that you can actually have running around out here. Also, Triple Metaltronius, actually. Well, I guess we are at that situation that more and more of the control options need to see play. If a deck like this is trying to shove those around, ugh. All right. Ooh, we have Sky Striker for you. And, of course, they have to main deck the triple Metaltronius. Like, you don't have a choice out here. You have to counter the meta. You have to find as many good ways as you actually can to try to, you know, punish your opponent so that you can actually try to play the game. And unfortunately, dedicating 2 slots into the extra deck, by the way, they're actually playing the Duo Drive in there as well. Okay. And then, of course, we have some Evil Twin Fiendsmith. I feel like that this is just a normal day in the office anymore for this deck. You've got a lot of people that have been trying to make this deck work. I also see a Sprite package in here as well. Holy crap, we really are doing everything that we physically can in here to actually have this work out. Well, I guess I can't say I'm all that surprised, but what do you guys think about these really cool decks? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.